Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Leo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as July goes, Venus will be in Leo from the 18th until the 31st. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could be about a lot of self-love. You could be really loving your own Leo qualities very strongly, and including being very generous and magnanimous, and having a lot of heart, having a lot of courage, valor, fortitude, that generosity, that even that flamboyant side, even the fact that you could be very attention getting, very charismatic. You might be spending money on yourself very strongly as well. Perhaps flamboyant attire, things connected with entertainment, maybe golf items, things. It could be sports related items in general. Anything, anyway, another thing too. This could be a time where you value magnanimous energy, you value fortitude, valor, good naturedness, pride, dignity, and even ferocity, perhaps in matters, perhaps with the grandmother, perhaps with someone you knew from your early childhood. If you're unattached at this time, Leo, you may connect with a Leo Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or even someone that embodies Leo traits. And it could be someone you from your early childhood, or someone that's going to play an instrumental or integral role in your new beginnings and your outlook on life, and maybe even your appearance to some degree. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Mars will be in Leo. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might experience a much stronger abundance and surfeit of energy. Leo energy, anyway, could be near inexorable and indefatigable, but it might even be more emphasized now. Be very careful, too. Mars in Leo, you're talking about a very fiery planet, and then in Leo, it could be dehydration levels might be a little bit higher when you're talking about a lot of fire energy. So if you're expending a lot of energy, which you could be very well doing, you could be feeling more vital, more energetic than usual. Just be exceptionally careful as far as being hydrated and be very prudent regarding this. Some cases, this could be a greater propensity for gunfire, wounds perhaps to the heart area, injuries in that area. Just be very careful at this time, Leo. And also, too, this could also be a time, if you're unattached, Leo, you may connect with a Leo Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Leo characteristics. And it could be for a sexual liaison, an interlude. It could be someone you knew from your early childhood, or someone you know that's going to be instrumental in new beginnings. Someone, maybe even a grandmother, may introduce you to at this time. So anyway, and the anger level could be a little bit higher too at this time, and it could be expressing it with a lot of that Leo ferocity and more outspoken than even usual at this time. Anyway, next thing up, Jupiter will be in Sagittarius still, so the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, as I've talked about previously, Jupiter can be very paradoxical, it could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. In some cases, it might expand and enlarge rather foolhardy, over-optimistic, reckless, over-enthusiastic, over-exuberance in matters with children, with lovers. It could even be in sports at this time, which of course could result in some kind of injury, especially that reckless energy and thinking you can do more than you actually can, such as weightlifting, lifting a very prodigious weight, for example, heavier than you could do and causing perhaps injury. Now, also, too, this could be very fortuitous for sports gambling at this time, if that is what you do, especially. Now, also, too, this could manifest, too, in a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm in Sagittarius-related sports and hobbies and things of amusement at this time, and also a lot of hope and optimism for outdoor fun, amusement, and enjoyment at this time. It could be very fortuitous for a Sagittarius love interlude at this time. It could be with a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Sagittarius traits. It could also be very auspicious for benevolence and goodwill in order to impact the personal popularity in a positive way. Next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might experience certain restrictions and limitations in your work, your health, your employment. At this time, you might find yourself taking care of a sickly or debilitated aunt or uncle. It could be something connected with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstring. It might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. This could also manifest in some cases in serious responsibilities to 6th house matters, such as service to others, such as to your health, your hygiene, and also to this could be about attaining more structure and discipline in your employment, in your daily routine, and also to, at this time, be very careful regarding perhaps working very laboriously. It could lead to some kind of health issues, such as some kind of overexertion issues, and especially if this is at a point where it's making it at an inconjunct to your ascendant, and even daily matters might be more arduous, more laborious than usual, more painstaking, especially say if this is making an adverse aspect to your ascendant, or making it inconjunct to your ascendant, or making an adverse aspect to your natal sun or your Mars at this time. Anyway, people, next thing up, Uranus will be in Taurus at this time, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you might be experiencing certain unusual, stubborn, and obstinate behavior, perhaps from the dominant parent, which is often the father, or perhaps even someone prominent in your career, your public image, your reputation. Also, too, this could be about how Taurus friendships at this time, it could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus traits, might figure prominently, more so than usual, in your stature in life, your public image, your reputation, career-related matters, attaining success. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, at this time, too, it could also be about dealing with unpredictable events that might affect your public image, your reputation. You might find that maybe a dominant parent or even someone prominent in your career might be acting somewhat unusual or eccentric at this time, or unorthodox. On a positive note, though, you might find yourself doing something Uranus-like as far as a career-related matter goes, such as something, you could be doing something, career-related endeavor, I should say, such as something with electronics, aeronautics, aerospace, I should say, electronics, computers, innovation, anything that could be Uranus-related. And anyway, and the thing about this too is could also at this time matters with your career. It might be somewhat erratic and sporadic. There might be a lot of fluctuations, and it could be that financial fluctuations at this time might play a role, perhaps in maybe your situation, perhaps with maybe business at this time. If you're involved in some kind of business, it might be business related. 10th house, I believe, can be connected with that. So anyway, or maybe even doing things to increase your notoriety and get recognition and exposure, such as advertising. You may not be able to do it as much if you're going through some kind of financial fluctuations. So next thing up, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you might find that at this time, people that you may know in a shared resources situation, in someone you're in a sexual or intimate relationship with, may be somewhat nebulous and unclear. They might be more deceptive and duplicitous than usual, or maybe involved in some kind of drugs or alcohol. Maybe those connections might be dissipating and dissolving at this time. Some cases this could manifest in dealing with maybe some kind of spiritual or metaphysical transformation, or even a detox at this time. You might be dealing with rather confusing and confounding situations with your taxes, insurance, or alimony issues. And at this time too, you might find yourself feeling more lethargic in eighth house related matters, and as it's more, you might be more about fantasizing and daydreaming as opposed to actually acting on them. And especially at this time, if there is, if transit Neptune is making an adverse aspect to your natal sun, Mars, or ascendant. Some cases you might feel like your libido might be dissipating or dissolving a little bit, or you might feel more like fantasizing about your sexual experiences rather than actually acting on them. So anyway, and also to remember that the eighth house is associated with emotional, moral, and monetary support. So at this time, this could be a time where where perhaps things may be dissolving as far as that goes, or maybe you're showing a lot of self-sacrifice in that area, not getting much reciprocation or anything in return. In some cases too, this could also manifest in a Neptune-related surgery. It could be something connected with the feet, the toes, something with the lymphatic system at this time. So anyway, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. In some cases, this could manifest in an actual or literal death of a pet. It could be an aunt or an uncle, someone prominent in your daily routine, someone strong in your health life. It could be a fellow employee. This could also be dealing with upheavals and power struggles at this time with people in your daily routine, people at work. It could be somebody maybe you're provided some kind of service to. It could be something too where in some cases you might feel like you might be exhibiting some kind of domineering energy in work related matters, and about maybe getting some power in term or control, I should say, in your health at this time. And also too, at this time as well, you might find yourself doing something Pluto related as far as employment goes, such as something connected with recycling or insurance, something with the occult, astrology, supernatural, forensics, investigation. And on another note too, this could also manifest in some kind of Pluto health related issues, such as something with the reproductive system or pelvic area at this time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Leo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Virgo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.